Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. It's coffee break time. I'm Spencer Campbell. You might know me under the name Gila RPGs. Coffee break is an opportunity every Sunday for me to hang out with my good friends in the RPG scene and just hang out and chat about whatever we feel like talking about. And this week, I'm very excited to have the wonderful Nevyn Holmes here with me. Nevyn,
Hello. Hi.
who are you? Tell the folks at home or on
Y-
stream who you are.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Who am I? Gee, I hadn't prepped for this. Hi. My name's Nevin. I use they, he pronouns. I am a queer tabletop role-playing game designer based out of Central Texas. You might know me from Gun and Slinger is a game I made. It's pretty cool. Is we both hold up the book in perfect sync. Um, I'm a creator, Gun and Slinger. I've done a lot of uh game analysis stuff on YouTube. You might know Indie Bites. I've done some freelance pieces for Dicebreaker that I'm really proud of. Um, and I have a little game called Justicar coming to Start Kicker at the end of March. And that's me. Hi.
I'm very excited about Justicar. Uh-oh. I'm getting a signal that my internet connection is unstable. It's connecting.
Oh
It's
yeah,
good.
it looks a little chunky.
It's a little chunky. It'll unchunk itself hopefully here in a second. Um, I'm very excited to talk about Justicar. I'm excited to talk about Gun and Slinger. We were just talking about Gun and Slinger right before this. Just talking about
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
life of being an indie RPG designer and all the good stuff that
Talking
comes with
about
that.
people DMing us.
Right. DMing with rules questions or inquiries, just like
Thank you so much.
it's, you gave the really good advice of just don't let people DM you anymore unless
Yeah,
they're
and
your
all,
friend.
all, all honesty, I'm gonna come out the gate swinging on this one. If you are a game designer or a human being that uses Discord or Twitter, turn off DMs from people that aren't on your friends list. Just do it. It makes it a better, safer space.
Like Nevin said that to me minutes ago, and it just like unlocked something in my brain because I was saying every time I get some fucking message from somebody that drives me just off, just bonkers. Like it's a bad brain day, right? Like my day is bombed because of that, and I should
You can
just not
just
let
you
that
could just
happen.
deny it. You can just keep it from happening, like at all.
Adam Bell is
It's great.
encouraging us to DM him, so we should do that. Everybody DM Adam Bell and congratulate him on Legend Has It funding, which I think just funded this morning. So everybody go do that.
Well, I
Excellent.
just DM'd him good morning.
Oh,
So
good, 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 good. Um, hell yeah. So I've been, I want to talk about Justicar a lot just because I'm excited about this project. But I was just thinking, before this about like first time. I like for these to like I like to think about first time I've met or talked to the person that I'm sitting down with. And I think you're one of the people that I've known the longest in this scene.
I
Um,
think so too. Yeah, I think we both kind of started around the same time, I think,
right. And
or
I
close to it.
around the same time, and I just remember us talking early on and having very similar brains about things or like interests and going like, okay, I found somebody who is
Yeah,
like
we
me.
have what was it we were saying? We're design doppelgangers.
Yes, yes, exactly. So yeah, I feel like, and I think it was through the Brain Trust Discord that maybe we met.
Yeah,
I
I
think so.
posted in the back in the very early days of working on Gun and Singer. I posted in the Brain Trust Discord. I was like, "Hey, I'm working on this game. It's weird and about some. Can I swear?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's about some fucked up gun stuff. Who wants to take a look at it and talk to me about it?" And then you were like, Did you say fucked up gun stuff?
Tell me more.
Tell me more." And then we hit it off when we talked about it. It was good.
It was very good. Um, so yeah, I think yeah, we absolutely kind of came up around the same time. I
Hmm.
was talking with Ray about this. Shit, did I talk to Ray last week or the week? I think it was last week. Or maybe I don't even know who I talked to anymore, Nevin. My mind is broken. But I know that I was talking to somebody. How there's like of like an influx of us that all kind of started. It feels like about 2 years ago. It feels like there's this giant wave of about 2 years
I
ago.
wonder, I wonder, I wonder why. I
What could
wonder
have
if there's
caused
any
it?
I wonder if there are any world events that could be related to something like this. What year is it? 2022? 2 years ago?
I don't know.
I don't think anything was going on.
I'm not like a historian or anything, so I couldn't possibly answer the question. But something, some magical confluence of events brought about a wave of us 2 years ago. Uh,
Magical is a word for it.
it's the very much the wrong word for it.
Absolutely not the right word. Not the one I would use.
Yeah, Adam Bell, that is when CERN opened. When CERN opened and began its particle accelerator experiments, that's when those particles collided and it activated designer brains in a select few across the world. And there we go. That's
Yep.
the event.
Yep. That's it.
Oh,
The particles that they were colliding are these particles called D20s.
Love the sound of dice clacking and colliding against each other. Let's get some of that.
At the speed of light.
Floating Chair is here, who's redeemed a Clover Cam. I do apologize. I should have warned. She's downstairs. Like she wants nothing to do with me right now. But if she does come upstairs, I will put her on camera.
Have you ever used a single D20 in one of your game designs? I don't think any of your games use a D20.
No, not a single
Okay.
one does.
Neither do mine.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't even think there's like a weird scenario where I'm like, use this to track something or. Nope.
No?
Nope.
Never used the D20.
Nope.
Which I'm not saying anything about the D20 or anything, but I've never used one and all my games are good. So,
you make the connection. You connect those dots, viewer at
you know
home.
what they say, correlation is in fact causation.
You know what? I just finished teaching my stat students that, and they really appreciated it.
Oh my god, there's an easy explanation for everything. Find what it's related to. 100% of people who drink water do die.
It'll happen, so, you know. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So what are we here to talk about today?
I don't even know what we're talking about. But yeah.
I feel like every podcast I come on is I turn it into it's like a very respectable podcast and I turn it into the most bullshit podcast on earth.
I really appreciate the like even just alluding to the idea that this is a respectable podcast in any way.
I assume it's respectable. People show up, right?
People do tend to show up. People do tend to show up, and we tend to talk about things.
Perfect. I'm wonderful. It's great.
So
What are we talking about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you've got this cool game called Justicar coming up. I think we should definitely talk about Justicar for sure.
Absolutely.
Do you want to just jump into that right now, or do you want to like? Is there something else
Oh.
burning at the top of your brain that you're like, actually, Spencer, I gotta get this out of my head right now?
We have floating chairs pointing out that we didn't talk about the coffee.
Oh, duh.
See what I mean? I show up and I throw everything out the window.
Wow.
It's gone.
We gotta just shut the whole thing down. Coffee Break, the show where people talk about things.
Tell us about your beans, Spencer.
The beans inside this cup come from Metropolis. It is a local Chicago roastery, not grindery, as I told Nevin earlier this morning, but is in
Grindery is something else.
It is in fact called a roastery, and that's where my beans are from. How about you, Nevin?
Today, I am drinking a delicious sparkling Americano. The beans are from New Orleans, a brewery called Brewery, a grindery called Congregation. This is their Gallup. Came to me from Drink Trade. Go to drinktrade.com/GilaRPGs to get 20% off your first order.
God, wouldn't that be amazing if that just worked?
If you say something, it'll just happen.
So wait, this is a sparkling Americano. So you,
Yeah.
So you just have
It's
like
instead of water, it's like tonic water. I use Topo Chico for mine.
Oh.
So it's an espresso made with those beans. some lemon juice, like a little spritz of it.
Okay.
Um, Usually I would use like orange, like a slice of orange that I squeeze in and then drop in. But I'm out of oranges. Um, then some sprigs of thyme. Usually I would use basil, and some Topo Chico and ice.
That sounds amazing. That sounds
It's
so
it's
good.
it's really good. Here's the thing. I learned about these, like I learned about espresso and tonics, one from Adam Vass
Right.
and two from like my favorite local coffee shop that I can't go to anymore because it's too far from where I live.
Oh,
Um and I was like, these are so good. You can do them with cold brew. It tastes a little different, obviously, but with the way that all the flavors interact, it kind of tastes pretty similar. Um and my brother-in-law got me uh, a baby's first espresso machine.
mm.
Um, and I was like, "Oh, I can just make these whenever I want." So I bought a shitload of Topo Chico, and now I can just have them whenever I want. It's great.
I should do that. I don't branch out very much with my coffee. I enjoy coffee, but I also just I consume it for the practicality of it allowing me to be a human being. But like on the weekends, I have the time to like treat myself
Exactly.
to make something nicer and I don't. And I should.
I I specifically moved away from like the drip pour machines,
Mm,
like the Mr. Coffees and stuff like that. I moved away from those because I always produce the same amount, same kind of coffee, and it's always like, it could be better.
right.
It's fine, it does the job, right? Um, but I started doing pour overs,
Mm,
and like Chemex style stuff, and it's a little more effort. It takes a little more time, but like the result is much tastier,
yeah.
and you have like more control over it. It's small things that make the morning routine just like a little bit better. So I get a nice little treat every morning, and then on weekends I get these, and it's great.
That's such a smart
Sometimes I'll
idea.
sometimes I'll make one like the night before and take it to work.
Mm,
The orange gets like a longer amount of time to like infuse,
yeah.
basically. It's really good.
You've unlocked something for me here, Nevin. I think I'm gonna start doing some weekend treating myself and go back to like because I used to do that. I used to take the time to make things and
To listen to me whine.
to listen to you whine and adapt based off of what I've learned from you and I stopped doing that. And now I have to do it
There's your
again.
problem.
I should have never stopped listening to you, Nevin.
That's exactly it.
Ooh, Cat's got a
It's
cold
very
brew
good. I highly
cardamom
recommend.
coffee.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Ew, I just dumped two different flavors of Capri Sun into a cup with ice. Well, actually, I don't know why I say ew.
Hell
That actually sounds
yeah!
great.
We're gaming.
We are gaming here. Ooh, there's a lot of people drinking some yummy stuff here in chat.
Some
Good job,
tasty sounding
chat.
bevies. Nothing but respect to my chat.
I've got a, I have not, despite Adam Vass's multiple times advocating for it, I've never done the lemonade espresso thing.
Bruh.
I've still never done
Bruh.
it. I know
You're
that,
either gonna love you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it.
okay,
And here's the thing: I think if you like espresso and tonics, or
okay,
like sparkling Americanos, whatever you want to call them, you'll like the the coffee lemonade. You don't need to do espresso with it. You can do cold brew.
okay,
Um, so it's straight up just half and half.
right.
And you can add a little bit of sugar if you want to, but it's good. That's another one of my favorites. I have a big ass container of cold brew in the fridge, so I have it on tap.
Right. I gotta go grocery shopping today anyway, so maybe I'll get some lemonade. Maybe I'll get some stuff for making cold brew just to have it. Because I have the
Do it.
espresso stuff, so I want to try making it with the espresso and lemonade, and then also. So wait, here's a practicality question, which,
Mhm.
uh, obviously I understand that the cold brew is gonna be cold when you mix it with the lemonade, and it'll be a cold drink. But like, do you mix hot espresso with cold lemonade and create a lukewarm drink, or do you cool the?
Anytime that I do, anytime that I do that, I like put ice in the cup first.
I see.
So ice, espresso, then the mix in. That's how I
Gotcha.
do it with the ENT.
All right. All right. This has been enlightening. This has been very good. And there's a
I
lot
hate
of people.
to I I hate to admit it, but I've become that coffee bitch.
But I mean, I'm such a creature of habit and routine that like it's hard for me to get out of it to try these other things. But
Mm,
once I
yeah,
do it and I like it, that will then become my routine, and I will become addicted to that thing. So
exactly. So do it, you coward.
I just have to do it. I just have to stop being a big baby about it and do it.
Sweet. So that's the coffee talk.
There we go. Now we can move
Let's
on to the next part of coffee break, which if you look at the little thing, is coffee plus RPGs. Now we're allowed to talk about RPGs.
Okay, we can talk about RPGs now. Let me pull up my Justicar game text. Um, do you want me to just send you a link?
Yeah, you can send me a link. Is it to like the Kickstarter or is it to?
Well, this is to the Google Doc for your eyes only.
Oh, okay. So I'll only look at this. Let me make sure that I open this in such a way that it does not open up for everybody.
And then there's the Kickstarter follow link. So we're going to be talking about the very good Justicar, which is a tabletop role playing game of drama, mystery, and justice. It is a dramatized courtroom RPG inspired by like Phoenix Wright, My Cousin Vinny, Legally Blonde, 12 Angry Men. That one episode of Psych where they do a courtroom thing. Um, you name it. It's good. It's good.
I'm glad
You
Legally
can.
Blonde is one of the touchstones. It has become an increasingly big part of my life, actually. Legally Blonde.
Le- Here's the thing: Legally Blonde, problematic as fuck, but also extremely good. It is our problematic fave.
My partner is directs the choirs at a high school, and they did Legally Blonde as the musical years back.
That's amazing.
And
I
I
love
didn't
the musical.
I
It's
didn't
so good.
know it
I've
was a
seen it
musical.
once.
I had only seen the
They
movie.
the musical is technically a sequel to Legally Blonde 2.
Well, now my mind is blown, and now I don't even understand what's happening. But our apartment was filled with the Legally Blonde soundtrack for a long
It's good.
time, and
It's good.
it was great. I had a great time doing it, and then it actually became inspiring enough that I was like, oh, there's a part of this that I could use in one of my classes to teach the concept of the scientific method, and so Legally
You
Blonde
see,
is
that's the thing.
it's in my life
It's
now.
it's good. I don't think I'm putting Legally Blonde as a touchstone in the game, but I might.
Now you're gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to. Um, but yeah, it's completely diceless, completely GMless. It's like a guided role play experience. In it, it's essentially two phases of play. The first one being setup, so like you make the case, you make the characters, and then you actually play through the trial itself. The whole goal of the game is to figure out the truth of the mystery and the crime that you've crafted. So there's when you're going through setup, you intentionally leave blanks, you leave plot
Hmm.
holes, you make like a crime web, like a conspiracy board that sits on the table in front of you. And you use sticky notes and note cards and red string and tape, and you draw all these connections as you play through the case. Then you hit like I'm still working on some aspects of the design. It was originally you question three suspects and then you decide what the truth is. Um, and I'm actually trying to figure out a way for it to be more self-paced than that. So instead of just like you have to question everybody, it's you're filling up a clock. And when that clock is full, the big revelation happens, or the deliberation scene happens.
Okay.
Um, because I think that'll be more interesting. Um, but as it is right now, like that's the game. You play through the case, you draw the connections, and then as players, you step out of character. You can go, okay, so what do we think the truth is, and how do we want to put a bow on this story? And then you jump back in character, you act out the rest of the
Yeah.
story, and then you're done.
I love that idea of like jumping in and out of character, like working together as a table as like part of the process. It's a thing of yes, we are these characters and we're trying to reach some sort of satisfying conclusion to this case, but also like we're people at the table and we should like talk about what does that mean to have a satisfying story that we've told and the case reaching its like satisfying ending is awesome. Um you I know you've been working on Justicar for a little while. I remember you talking about it a while ago. Is the iteration that it's on right now largely what it was when you were first working on it, or is this sort of a whole new version of it?
I would say it's pretty much completely different.
Mm,
Um, in like some very real ways. So when Justicar was first crafted, it was much different. I think I made the first version of it maybe 2 years ago at this point. And I created it because a friend of mine reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I'm doing a final um I'm doing a wrap up session for my campaign uh of like Spirit of 70, Spirit of 88 or something like that. It was like a pulpy noir campaign that he was doing, and he was like, "I'm doing a wrap up session, and it's going to be a courtroom case. Do you want to be the judge in that courtroom case?" And I was like, "I'll do you one better. I'll make a game." Um, because this was like back when I was pumping out games like nobody's business.
right.
Um, so I made a game, and it used hold, and it didn't have the same level of like story creation because he had like the details. He had a
Right.
specific case that was going to be what I was overseeing. Um, and it worked a lot when we played. A lot of the stuff got ignored. But I was like, there's bones here. We got bones. Oh
Uh-oh.
no. Um, you know what I mean. Whenever a game concept that you
Mm.
just kind of slap together has bones, that's a problem because now you have to make it.
It has you
Um,
simply must make it. You can't have skeletons in your closet. Those bones are gonna live in the closet, and you simply
why do you
cannot.
think Skittles is hanging out right there?
Ah, a constant
Um,
reminder.
so I made the version 2 over the course of like a month. And I play tested that with Adira Slattery, Lino, and John Geary.
Mm,
Um, and that ripped. It was very good. There were some it was much better, but there were still like, why am I using hold? Why are we asking questions in these ways? Um, and now I've got version 3, which is completely different. It really leans into things, and it really leans into the aspect of like you are players narrating these characters. It's very much about like, I mean, you can see in the doc if you scroll through, there's a lot of sections in here that are like, this is like opposed characters, not
mm-hmm.
opposed players. Guides on conducting scenes, things like palette and character creation, and talking about who has control of what characters. Um,
I love
because
this
it's
example board that you've got here. I can again
that's
not
the one
showing it
from
to
the
anybody, but yeah.
that's the one from the playtest. That was the
Mm.
first one. You can totally show that.
Oh, I wasn't
Um,
sure if you wanted me to.
that you can absolutely show.
Gotcha.
Let me actually see if I can find the bigger image for you while you vamp for me for a little bit.
Well, I'm so this is like this is really interesting to me. I was having a discussion yesterday about was it yesterday? Again, time means nothing to me, but like games that are these sort of like largely just creative spaces where you're collaboratively telling a story. I think sometimes folks can find them overwhelming. The example that I
Yes.
always use is in my Psych of RPGs class. I would teach my students. I would have them do play Fiasco, and
Mhm.
because it's GM-less, and so we don't need to train a GM to do it. And the first scene, the like uh like, okay, so go ahead and start, is like there's this real long awkward pause of everybody being like, what? I can do anything, I can say anything. Um, but it but
Absolutely.
just from like flipping through here and from talking to you, it sounds like you've got structure in here that like helps onboard people into that process, which can be wildly terrifying on its own.
Yeah, I definitely noticed a consistent thing throughout the playtests where the setup, everyone like understands the setup and totally gets it and it makes perfect sense. Um, but then when you get to actual role play, when it's time for that first scene, like people really kind of stop and start and try to figure it out. Um, content warning for this:
Oh.
murder, murder, sex toys, and drugs.
Excellent.
Um, but you can see on here, like we put everything together, and the setup order is still very much the same. You create the case. Like the first thing that you do is you set up your palette, your tonal touchstones, and guidance, basically. Then you decide what the crime is. In our case, it was just a murder. As you can see,
Mm-hmm.
our victim Oz Esperon is fucking
He's
dead.
very fucking
Um,
dead.
then you create like the bigger picture, which is like what's the real truth here, what's the deeper secret. Um, and then you work together to create your witnesses who that will be played by the stand. Um, and you create the judge, the prosecution, and the defense. And then you lay everything out on here and you create your evidence. Everybody at the table creates two pieces of evidence, and then the prosecution and defense draft the evidence. So they take turns picking a piece of evidence for them
Oh.
to use. Every piece of evidence has a flaw. Uh, the better the piece of evidence is, the bigger the flaw has to be. So, like here, we've got which one was it? We've got the text messages between Wolf, the suspect, and the victim.
Mm.
And the flaw here is that you don't have authorization to get the messages, but you have them. So
Oh,
that leans in
damn.
on like, how do I bring this in without being incriminated? It's all about the ways that drama like melds and comes together. Once you've got that, you create connections between each of the aspects, or not each of them. So you create a connection from you to two others. So it's not illustrated as well in this one because it wasn't as fleshed out in this specific playtest. Um, but it's like, okay, so there's a connection from Delphine Rozek to the judge and to the suspect, and like what is that connection?
Mm.
Um, and then you create a connection between two separate things. So, like, I tie a suspect to a piece of evidence, or I tie two other characters together. Um, it's very, very cool. We had some awesome stuff in the most recent playtest. Ended up being like a really zany space courtroom. So we just like went fucking gonzo with it. Um, and there was a piece of evidence that was the smoking gun, and it ended up being like a sentient gun. Um, and it had a connection to a witness that was they dated.
Yes.
Um, the judge who I was playing had a connection to the prosecution that was they matched on Space Tinder. So like you can really just put whatever in these and it is always great.
This is fantastic.
I just like rambled about the setup for like an hour.
But no, I mean, I'm having fun looking around at all of these pieces. The very I'm gonna put us back on here if I can pull this off. Oh,
Oh yeah.
this is a lot.
And the last thing that you do once
Mm,
you've done the connections is everybody asks a question.
okay.
Um it's very good. And those questions are like you want to try and answer those through play if you can. I'm actually thinking of using the questions as the clock. So like once you've answered all 4 questions, then you can, like, wrap up.
Right. Just the idea of drafting the evidence is such a fun idea.
It's so cool. It always ends up really great.
Oh my God. And then like each piece of evidence having a flaw on it that is kind of at like proportional to the impact of the evidence itself. This is this is very, very good. I'm curious in the playtest that you've done recently or I guess yeah, just most recently. But how long does it take to play this game?
Setup, it's meant to be played in 1 session, but that
Mm,
session is, like, 3 to 4
yeah.
hours. Setup itself, because often, like, I have it structured so that you play as you read.
Mm,
Um, like, in the setup steps, when you get to the step where it's time to make the characters are in the order that you create them.
oh, okay, yeah.
So it's very much like, okay, I've got this book, I haven't read it yet, let's play it.
Mm,
And you read through like all the guidance and stuff like that together, or you can do it ahead of time if you're like the facilitator. Um, but when it's time to actually play, setup can take 30 minutes to an hour. The sweet spot is around like 45, 50 minutes, really. You can
mm.
get some really good stuff. And then actual play is anywhere between like 2 to 3 hours.
It seems super
It's
freaky.
it's long.
Yeah.
It's long. It's probably longer than I want, but every single time that I've played all the way through it, it rips, like, full stop. It's great.
It sounds awesome. Like you get four people together who are like who will go all in on this. I can just imagine how fun it would be to put this stuff together. Like the setup alone sounds like a fun game to me. Like I could just
It
do the setup and be like, I feel
it's great.
satisfied with that.
Here's the thing, it's great. It's so good. And the setup is really what's got me putting so much effort into the actual play. Um, it's like there's so much cool stuff here. I really want to do more
Mm,
with, like, because you spend an hour making a mystery.
right.
It wouldn't be satisfying if you're just like, well, cool, I have a screenplay now.
Done. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is very, very good. It's coming to Kickstarter in March?
March 29th.
March 29th. Hell yeah. Very exciting.
I believe that's the date. Let me check my calendar.
Gasp. I put
That's right, I use it.
I
Yeah, last Tuesday of March, March 29th.
I put the link in chat again for folks in case you came in later and missed it the first time. I'm so excited about this. Who do you have set up on the team for this? Who's working
Oh
on this
damn,
with you?
we have a very good team. Let me pull up my list so that I get it all correct. um so first up, we've got me as design project manager, all that stuff, obviously. Um I have a friend of a friend named Kevin Merritt coming in as a law consultant. So he's actually going to be taking a look at the game and the ways I present things to make sure that it's accurate, within the realm of
Mm,
being romanticized. I had a great conversation with him. He's super on board and super interested.
that's
Um,
awesome.
I'm really excited about it. We've got the very, very good Will Yobst as editor.
You chose
Um,
the best. You got the best of the
I'm
best.
I'm so excited to finally like have a chance to work with Will. It is my goal as a designer to work with as many people as possible, and I'm so stoked that we're finally able to make it work for Will.
Will
Um,
Will leaves easily the best editing notes I've ever had on a project.
I'm so excited for Will to look at one of these notes and just leave something. I'm hype.
You're gonna have a great time.
Um, I've got a Twitter artist named Riot Bones to come on and do the cover art. Um, Riot has some very, very cool art and is a huge fan of Phoenix Wright. Um,
Mm.
so I'm very, very excited to have Riot Bones on to do the art.
Did they do the art
Um,
for the Kickstarter banner?
no,
Oh.
that was the next person
Ah.
on the list, Jam.
Woo!
Um, Julianne Munoz, my wife, and the absolute top tier layout artist in RPGs, is coming on to do layout here and some additional like spot art and things like logo design and stuff like that. Um,
I will not
and
argue
then
with you about Jam being #1 layout artist in the
she
scene.
kills it, dude. She fucking kills it.
Ridiculously good.
And then my friend Sam Fisher is coming on to do the interior art and the character art. Um, which I think I can send you something. Yeah, I can send you something for that.
Only if you want to. But that's
I
a
do
that
want
is a
to because the art is amazing.
that
I
is
just
a
got to pull it up.
stacked team. That is a
It's
hell
a
of a
s-
team you've got there.
it's a stacked fucking team, Spencer.
I mean, I was already excited about the game just from the premise of it and just seeing, like, listening to you talk about it and seeing that very fun board that you all did in your playtest. But knowing that you've got all of these people here to just make this amazing, even though, I mean, even more amazing than it already is, hot damn, Nevin.
It's gonna be good. I'm really excited about this game.
Good, excellent. Um, I mean, you mentioned Jam. You two obviously as like a married design duo have worked on a couple of things together, right?
hmm
Uh,
Um,
what are some of like for folks at home, like what are some other things that they could look at to get a sense of like what the Nevin Jam connection is all about?
well, you can head to dinoberryjam.com, her website. All of the games in there are projects that we have worked on together. Um, she did she did layout for the expansions that came with Gun and Slinger. She did the complete rebirth for What Waits Beneath. Um, she did the interior layout and art for Kitchen Nightmares. She did the layout for Storyboarders. Um, she did the layout for Nova,
She did.
which is yours. She did the layout for Logan and Autobio TTRPG, which is just beautiful. Um, I listed stuff that I was not involved in, but it's because her stuff's just so good.
It's ridiculous. Very, very good. Your stuff is good too, Nevin. Your stuff
Oh
is
yeah,
good
no,
too.
but my stuff's just the words.
Ah, yes, just the
Oh,
words.
she's she's doing the layout for You're in Space and Everything's Fucked. Um, I'm
Yes, can
doing
we
the
talk
art
about that a little
for
bit?
that. We can talk about Space Fucked if you want to talk about Space Fucked.
Just for a second because I'm very excited about it. From I mean, I remember you talking to me about this a while ago, so I'm
hmm
curious, sort of where it's at.
It's in layout.
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
Do you
That's
want
so
to see
exciting.
some? Do you want to see some fucked up art?
I do want to see because I know you did the art, right? You've been
I did
messing
the
around with
art
some
for Space Fucked. Yeah,
real fucky art, real
yeah.
gnarly art.
I need to like pick something that's not too gruesome.
Excellent,
Probably.
perfect.
Let me find my JPEGs. Uh, Here, I'll let you pick. Do you want bits, creatures, machines, or people or text?
Machines.
Machines. Okay. I'm gonna send you two because I only have two in this folder. I'm sending you Big Fucker and Wheelbot. These are just the scans, not like cleaned up and not put into layout.
I will put them up here on the screen. Here is Big Fucker for you all. That is a big fucker. Oh, I gotta like move this so
Oh, it's
you
kind
can
of
all
cropped, yeah.
so you all can see what's happening. It's laser blasting this thing in the corner. That is
It's
a big
a
fucker.
little guy.
A little guy who's gonna have a real bad day. That is awesome. Let me grab the other one here.
I really like how Wheelbot turned out. It's a contour drawing I did.
What's a contour drawing? I don't know shit about art.
You draw it without ever picking up the pen.
Oh, very cool.
So that's all one line.
That's awesome. So there's Wheelbot for you. And then, as a reminder, here's Big Fucker. Oh my god, I love Big Fucker.
Big fucker's good.
So, oh, and by the way, for folks who maybe didn't see it before, this is some of the interior art for Just a Car.
Yeah, that is the character art by Sam Fisher, who you can find on Twitter at Fire and Irons, I believe. Let me double check. Let me get it right.
I'm uh I'm really excited for Space Bug. It's gonna be
It's Irons and Fire on Twitter
Irons and Fire.
for Sam.
Excellent. I'm super excited for Space Bug. So, you're drawing the stuff like on paper and then scanning it in for it.
Yep.
I know that's what Jam did for like headers and Nova. Like she sent me pictures of like all of the like practiced inking that she did before she scanned it, and that blew my mind. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that you could do it that way. Because again, I
Yep.
don't know anything about how art
It's all
works.
it's all just on paper. Bunch of freaky little guys just on paper.
Look at that freaky little guy. He actually had a smile. It looked like maybe he's
he's
having a
happy.
good time.
He's in a vat. It's no big deal. I'm actually inspired a lot by the stuff that Adam Vass did. Like watching Adam mess around with like different physical media and just like letting the art happen to some degree is like really inspiring.
Right.
I've had a lot of fun looking up weird new ways to do art that I didn't know about. Like I didn't know you could just make your own pin.
What?
You can just do that. Yeah, you can make a pin just like out of a soda can.
To draw with?
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't even imagine how you turn a soda can into a pen.
You just fold it around like a pencil.
Interesting. And then you just
And you
dip
dip
that
it in the
sucker in
ink.
some ink.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I have
I
like
gotta
a
start
drawer
messing
filled
around with stuff like
of
that.
soda cans.
I want to start.
Yes,
messing
you
around with
should.
Stuff like that.
It's really fun to just like go and I mean to just do it and to
Yeah.
not really care too much about how it you one of my big things with art and doing art and why like doing the art for Space Fucked was so important for me is because I always in school had people telling me that my art sucked and that I wasn't doing it right or that I was leaving too much white space here or there. So I just kind of stopped doing it because everybody was being shitty. But I saw these other styles that Adam was posting and that were like coming across my feed and stuff like that. And so, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the art for Space Fucked. We're gonna see how it goes. And it turns out I really like drawing. And I really like getting my hands dirty and like messing around with different methods of creating stuff. Like I learned screen printing so I could make the covers.
That's super cool.
It's a lot of fun. Everybody should just get some crappy art supplies and just make stuff.
Yeah.
Just like you should just start writing your game. You should just start making art.
That's actually a really good point because I absolutely subscribe to and advocate the idea of like just start writing. Like who cares? Who
Just
gives
do
a
it.
shit?
Just
Just start
fucking do it.
writing. And I don't know why I never transferred that concept to the concept of doing art. Like for some reason that bridge just didn't get made. But that totally makes
Yeah.
sense. Like just do it. Just start messing around.
Same hat. Same exact hat right here.
That's very good. That's very good advice from Nevyn, folks, that I will
Thank
be
you very
taking
much.
on. I guess I gotta go get my hands on some crappy art supplies.
Hell yeah, do it.
What do you like to draw with? Like, what's like the medium of choice for you right now? That you're having the most fun?
I really like brush pens, because they just kind of go. Um, the line weight is so like sensitive depending on the brush pen that you use. Um, but it's very fun. It's very flowing, and I really like to use them. That and when I really want to get messy, the folded pens are so much fun.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get messy. I'm gonna get messy.
Hell yeah, do it.
Hopefully I'll have something to show off soon. Oh, Kat's got a game jam coming up about people who say that they can't do it and they can and should. That's awesome. That's great.
Hell yeah, love that.
Jams are a great opportunity for people to just like Put something together. Just do it. We're making a fun thing.
Game jams rule.
Game jams do rule. So you've got
Oh,
Just a
yeah.
Car that you're working
Mm-hmm.
on. You've got Space Fucked, which is in layout right now.
Mm-hmm.
What other? How many irons are in the fire, so to speak, for Nevyn Holmes right now?
Oh man.
Too many.
Too many. So Justicar is in March. I have the year like loosely outlined. Justicar is in March. Um, Space Fucked will be releasing when it's done. We're gonna do it the same way that we did What Waits Beneath, probably, so like a physical pre-order window and then physical and digital release, because we need time to produce these at home and ship them and everything. So Justicar, you're in space and everything's fucked. Neon Dust is looking like it's picking up gas again.
Yes.
Unfortunately for me, I had some brain blasts about it. The bones are there. Um, Check this out, Spencer.
Yeah.
It's in the Gun and Slinger universe.
It is.
It's
That
gonna be
makes
in the
so
Gun
much
and
sense.
it's gonna be in the Gun and Slinger universe, set on the moon that was replaced. Yeah, it's gonna.
Yes.
How do you feel about guns powered by CO2 cartridges instead of black powder?
I'm in love with it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's really good. Bastard Swords and Battle Axe Cyberpunk is like the pitch for that.
Ooh, that's a very good pitch. I mean,
Hmm.
I had so much fun when we did the the real wacky neon dust playtest a long
It's
time ago.
so different. God, hey, to anybody listening to this, don't be afraid to let a playtest prove that a game doesn't work in its current state. Um, it was such a good I man, it was a good lesson, and I'm glad that it happened. I'm disappointed that the bone, like, it didn't work right, but what I'm making is gonna be much better. There was an entire core system that just didn't work, um, and it's good that it didn't work because now I can do something cooler. Um, so Neon Dust is picking back up. Um, I have an Untitled For the Queen inspired game about hanging out with your friends on the last day of your favorite MMO. Um,
Oh,
that
nice.
I actually just started physically prototyping it last night. It's a card-based game, um, with two decks. One is like events and prompts, and the other is loot. And you're gonna have character sheets, and there's like a countdown time component. So basically, you are playing your favorite MMO with your friends on the day it shuts down, and you have like 7 hours before it shuts down. So you go through these event cards, and it's like, do I want to do this thing that takes more time but is more interesting and might get me my last achievements? Or do I want to do this quick thing that'll just like hit a checkbox and be kind of quick? Um, I
That is
don't know
such a
if it'll
great
work.
idea for us, like a scenario, a setting. That's awesome.
I'm really excited about it. I haven't designed anything like it before. I don't know if it's going to work. I think it'll be good. Um, and then that's a maybe for this year.
Mm.
I'm working on it now. I'm hoping that it'll be quick to like make and get out. Um, but the big thing, the next big thing that's happening this
How
year,
dare you list all of that and be like, but still.
um, because Neon Dust and the MMO thing are like maybes. Like I would
Mm,
like to work on them this year. I'd like to do a small release between Justicar and this thing I'm about to say.
okay.
Um, I will be crowdfunding probably towards the end of this year a game called Stand-ins for the Apocalypse.
Yes.
Um, it's going to be huge and ridiculous and massive and very important to me. And I don't have any of the details fleshed out about that crowdfunding campaign yet, just because of how everything is.
Right.
Um, but I have a lot of very big ideas, and I know that Jam is incredibly excited about it too.
Is
Um,
she gonna be working on
yeah,
that with? I mean,
yeah,
is
yeah,
is the assumption that you two will work on every project together, or there's some where it's
probably,
like, okay.
probably. Um, but yeah, Stand-ins is a game inspired a lot by like the vibes of like emo and post
Mhm.
punk and math rock, and it's about saving your town and your family and friends from an apocalypse that's coming to your town. Um, it's like a weird. It's got too much going on right now. I'm gonna have to cut back a lot. Um, but it's like a free form GM-less like PBTA game that has too many things that have playbooks. Um, the current version of it's ridiculous. It's you've got your character playbook, which is like no dice, no master style.
Right.
You've got PBTA style powers that you get from your instrument.
Right.
Um, and then there's like a character sheet for the town. Um, it's a lot. There's a lot going on, and I'm not sure. Yeah, Clove, this is the Oops All Playbooks game. It's the one. That's it. This is the one.
Well, I remember looking at a version of stand-ins like I don't know, a year and a half ago or
Yeah,
something
year
like
and a
that.
half.
Uh,
Hmm.
and I do remember it being like a PBTA game, and but like there were ideas of like your instruments playing together to like create chords and stuff like that. But it
Yeah,
sounds
so
like it's
mhm.
very different from the version I read a long time
It's
ago.
actually not that different
Oh,
is
okay.
the thing. It's a lot of the themes are all still there. Um, it's I want a lot of different things to work together. Um, in my head, I'm thinking like by having these different aspects, like these different types of character sheets and these kind of different mechanics, they're all the instruments in a band, and
Hmm.
on their own, they make a great noise. And I'm hoping that I can bring them together to make it a song.
Yeah.
It is a really corny fucking way of talking about it,
It's
but
perfect. It's
but
the perfect analogy.
have you met me? I'm incredibly corny.
I
Um, but I really think that it'll work. I've just got a lot that needs to be figured out still on that one.
Hell yeah. So that's the other big one. So we got
That's the big one.
Justicar here in the first early part of the year.
Hmm.
Stand-ins coming later on down the line.
Hmm. 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 Yep.
With some real rad stuff possibly getting peppered in between.
Hopefully,
Hell
I would
yeah.
like to. I would like to finish a game purely so I can stop thinking about it.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice to be released
Have
from
you
it?
ever Have you ever finished a game?
No.
Hey, chat, y'all ever finished a game before?
I don't think I've ever been finished with a game. A game has never released its grip for me, even after I thought I had released it. It didn't let go of me. Uh,
Yeah, unfortunately, even Gun and Slinger still has its claws in me.
well, yeah, I mean, now that you're bringing the Neon Dust into the GNS universe and everything, which is a
I can't.
brilliant fucking move, by the way.
Thank you. I think it's gonna be good. I have Viditya Valetti to thank for that.
DDT is a brilliant, brilliant person.
Yeah, unfortunately, smart people are a bad influence. It's fucked up.
Right, because they give you like advice and guidance that like, oh, now I have more work to do because this person is right
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Oh my god. Too many projects, Spencer. We live in a perpetual project land.
I mean, are you with all the stuff that you've got planning? Are you hoping to do that deep dive into the doing it full time sort of thing? Is that the
Probably
goal?
not.
Okay.
Probably not, honestly. Um I would like for it to provide additional income for sure.
Right.
Um but I kind of really like my day job
Mm.
sometimes. Um I like the direction it's taking me, and I have a lot of security there. I
Mm.
don't I don't want to leave that.
Right.
Um so I don't want to go full time with this. But I do want to do it.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I'm in the same space. I'm in the same space. Like, there's always that weird temptation of like, well, what if I just did it? What if I just tried to do it at full
Oh
time?
yeah,
And then like,
there are definitely days where I'm sitting at my desk at work, and John Tacos is my in the chat is my coworker. Um There are definitely days where I'm sitting at my desk and I'm just going, I could just leave. I could probably do it, right? Maybe. I don't know. Um, but I don't think I will.
Yeah.
Something incredibly life-changing would have to happen for me to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we just need Justicar to explode, right? So everybody go back Justicar so that it
Yeah,
explodes.
give me $1 million for just a car.
I think it should
That's
happen.
not too much to ask.
I
That's
think
not too
that's
much, right?
reasonable to
I think
ask.
that's great. I'm not going to worry about what that would do to my taxes, but
Oh God, that's right. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Sam mentions like let's get a Justicar Netflix show going. We just have to make the Justicar universe, right?
that'd be pretty good.
I
That'd
would
be pretty
watch like
good,
a Gun
yeah.
and Slinger show for sure.
Oh, no hesitation. Are you kidding me? That'd be
A
great.
Gun and Slinger graphic novel, Nevin? Read it in a heartbeat.
That'd be good. That'd be really good.
So
I
anyway,
hate this.
that's the next thing you should do.
Ugh. Man, I'm still working on trying to get friends at the table to play Gun and Slinger. They've been doing some wild stuff in Songfiel, and I just keep hearing it and going, y'all should play Gun and Slinger in Songfiel, please.
Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be
It'd
cool?
be great.
Gun and Slinger, the breakfast cereal. There we go. Delicious.
It's little bullets.
Little bowl of bullets.
It's a bowl of like bullets and flowers.
Yeah, that's perfect. That would be really perfect. And then there's a toy in there, which is like,
A loaded gun.
oh no, oh no. I was gonna say like a cute little twist miniature or something, but no, sure, a loaded
A
gun.
loaded gun.
I mean, that would be very on brand. Very good.
You just
Excellent.
you just pour a bowl of cereal and a Glock falls out of the box.
God,
That'd be a lot.
that would be a lot. Probably not high up on your list of things to do right now.
It might have just jumped to the top.
No, that makes sense. What better way to make money?
Exactly. Oh my
Um,
goodness.
Nevin, you've got some real cool shit going on. I'm really, really excited about all of this.
Thank you very much. I am also excited and very nervous.
Sure, makes sense. Um, is there anything else that you wanted to chat about? Is there anything else that's like living in the top of your brain that you're like, I really gotta get this out of my head?
No, not really.
Okay.
Did you have any like specific questions about Justicar or anything?
I mean, I got like getting the rundown is very, very cool. I wanted to know about playtime. You like in your description, like talking about the setup and all the rules is very cool. I guess here's my question for you. This actually jumps to my mind and it seems very important. If somebody knows like fuck all about the legal system, um, do you have like stuff in the game to like onboard people who like don't know enough, like if they've never watched like a court procedural show or something like that, but they're interested, like you're trying to convince your friend to play and they're like, I've never watched any of these things or played any of these things, like what's that experience like for those folks?
I think that the game does a pretty good job of being like it's inspired by these, but you don't need to know them.
Mm,
Um, obviously, as with anything, being familiar with touchstones helps. But the real thing about Justicar, this is the truth, um, is that I mean it's less about the legal aspect of it.
mm,
It is a mystery game wrapped in courtroom dressing. Um, the thing that's more important is reading the player guidance throughout the game because that will just teach you how to play it, how to role play in this game, how to have discussions, how to lean into dramatic irony. Um, and the tropes of the media that it's inspired by are built into the characters. Um, the tropes of like everybody has a secret, everybody has a motive. Um, the witnesses will have an outburst.
mm.
People will lie. Um, that's all built into the meat of the game so that seamlessly guides you to create and play through and experience that kind of thing.
Calling it a mystery, like that it's a mystery game, sort of wrapped in the trappings of a court procedure, is, I think, brilliant. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me, and I think that's something that a lot of people will be able to latch on to
Mhm.
very quickly and excitedly, because like playing out mysteries is very fun, but the concept of also building the mystery and then solving it is even more fun. Like that, I know I mentioned it before, but like the setup alone sounds like a really cool experience to me.
It's really good. Thank you very much, Spencer.
But
And yeah, that's I mean that's specifically why the tagline for the game is a mystery game of courtroom drama for 4 players. Mystery is the second word.
yeah,
The first, if you don't count
right. The first substantial word in the pitch. That's awesome. I'm really really excited about it. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be agonizing to wait 2 months for it to launch in the first place. I can't wait. But I cannot wait to see this explode because it will explode, folks.
I hope so.
We're all here to make that happen. So I've put the link in the chat a couple times for folks who are like listening to this in podcast version. All the links to this stuff will be down in the description or on YouTube or all that. So go click
And
those links.
if you don't check descriptions, it's bytes.rip/justycar.
Nice, excellent.
bytes.rip/justicar.
Love it. Yeah, Nevin, tell the fine folks at home where they can find all of your good stuff.
Absolutely. Well, first, like I just said, you can find Justicar there, and you should go there right now and either follow it to be notified when it goes live or back it so that it can exist. Um, you can find the best place to find my stuff is to go to nevyn.games, nevyn.games. That has all my links to everything. If you just want to see the garbage I post on Twitter, it's at Fork20. Um, I'm tweeting a lot about Gundam right now because I'm watching through it again. Um, I'm on Zeta Gundam, if that means anything to you. um, and you can find physical copies of our games at a lot of places. Um, First and foremost, you can head to dinoberryjam.com. You can find physicals of GNS, What Waits Beneath, and Kitchen Nightmares, which I made with Chris Pizzette. That game rips. You can also head to Floating Chair Club or Exalted Funeral to pick up copies of GNS and Kitchen Nightmares.
Hell yeah. Go
And
to
my
all.
articles on Dicebreaker.
Yes. Nevin has some fantastic articles up on Dicebreaker as well. Grab yourself a copy of Gun and Slinger if you don't have one already. It's unbelievably cool. So much fun just to flip through. Uh, it should give you a really good indication of how amazingly talented Nevin is at design, and should make you very excited about Justicar. So go buy Gun and Slinger, then go follow the Justicar thing, then back Justicar, and then just keep doing the thing, keep supporting Nevin because
Yeah, keep giving me money,
I think
please.
you should do it. That's my recommendation. As a doctor, it's my advice. I prescribe you
Can you
all.
write a prescription? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Finally, this degree is paying off.
Finally.
Well, thank you very much, Nevin, for being here and chatting with me. Thanks to everybody in chat who joined us today. This was a lot of fun. Um, I will be back next week. Next week we kick off February coffee break. I will have Vince on. You might know Vince as Dichotomous Prime on Twitter, the creator of the Tabletop Chop Shop hashtag.
Ooh.
So I'm very, very excited to be talking to Vince next week. And then I have a whole bunch of other people that have immediately fell out of my brain, but it's going to be a fun month. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Monday. Nope, not Monday, Sunday.
It fucking better not be
Whew,
Monday.
that
Oh
was
my god.
terrifying for a second there. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever it is you are, folks, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.